Now that we got our fire going, so I get it to where the heat's Hey guys, so today I have a lot of chores to get done, and I have laundry to put up. I have groceries to put up. I just went grocery shopping, and this is my tiny house. So if you guys are new here to the channel, I'm Mario, and I live and travel full time in this 24-foot box truck conversion, and it's a full tiny house studio apartment inside. So we're going to get on inside, and I'm going to put away the groceries. We're going to cook some dinner, and I still have laundry to put up. I was hoping to be able to get some fishing done today, but I don't know. We'll see if it's possible. If not, we'll probably get to it in the morning. Anyways, let's get on inside, guys. Okay, now that we're finally inside, I have some groceries that I need to put away. Everything is inside of this cooler. I went to the grocery store. I had a couple more runs to make, so I decided to put everything in the cooler. It was something I learned from one of my friends when I was staying out in Florida. And I learned that if you have groceries in Florida, and it gets super hot there in Florida. Let me know if you guys have ever been to Florida and what part of Florida you've been to, because that place, it gets extremely hot. Well, in the summer and a little bit in the winter too, just depending on which month and where you're at. So I have a few things, and I did get some garlic. Some people don't really like this. Not really a super fan of it, but I needed something rather than nothing. I didn't want to chop garlic, so that was my alternative, I guess. So my plan today is to make steaks. I want to do sous vide, and not sure if you guys have heard of sous vide, but it used to be the way that a lot of restaurants used to cook their meat, especially their red meats, because it allows you to get your meat cooked at whatever temperature you set your water at. Typically for steak, it allows for you to make the perfect steak when you're making steak. So I'm going to shoot for cooking a medium rare steak. I love medium rare steaks. I don't know how you guys like your steaks, if you like red meat or if you're a vegetarian. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, my mom's a vegan, so you probably wouldn't want to watch, me making steaks if you're a vegan or a super animal lover, and I'm over here cooking up all this red meat. And I do have a rack here that I made, or that I put on just for my spices here, because I love to cook, and when I'm cooking I want to have everything readily available to me, and it just makes it so easy to have everything right here instead of having to go in the cabinets, because sometimes my cabinets can get a little shuffled around from being on the road. So I don't like to go in those cabinets that often. But do you guys do this with your grocery items? Okay. I'll set that ice to the side. And I have a lot of fresh vegetables. And usually the stuff that doesn't have to go in the refrigerator, I leave out, and I typically set them right here in my fresh vegetable dish. I don't know if it was a fresh vegetable dish to begin with. It was something that I took from my parents' house. They had it sitting there, and I thought that it would look so nice right here on the table. I don't know if they thought the same thing, but it became mine. I do already have a few things on this table already. I know it may look a little bit of a mess to some of you guys, but trust me, it's not. It's organized chaos. Well, not really chaos, but it's organized. I have a keto cake that I made, and I do have some Max the Meat Guy's chimichurri sauce. This is for steaks. There goes the bags peeing. I do have a couple different pieces of meat. So this ribeye, I know a lot of people don't like Walmart meat, but I really don't have too many options when I travel, and I don't know the area and I don't know any meat markets, so I typically will go to Walmart. I know that they don't have the best vegetables or the best whatever, but I'm not super picky. I'm just a common man, and I get what I can afford and what's in the area. And I do have asparagus. I believe that I'm going to make this tonight. So I'll set that there. I actually need to put the meat in the refrigerator and all the other stuff in the refrigerator. So what I'll do is I'll get all this stuff out and I'll get all this stuff out of the cooler, and then I will start to put it up in whatever place that it has to go. I'll take off my wrist brace. And if you guys are wondering what happened to my wrist, I decided to go, when I was working out at a different place with a friend, and some reason I jammed up my wrist on a punching bag, and that's never happened to me, but I guess it's been a long time. Punching the wrong way. So it's not allowed me to lift too much anymore for a little while. So I'm hoping I can get back to my lifting as usual. All this stuff needs to go in the freezer and refrigerator. So it looks like I'll be making Brussels sprouts that I already took out. And asparagus. The refrigerator's just beeping, going off, and I'm still loading it up. I have more stuff than probably what should be in here, but it's okay. I'll leave out one of these. We'll just close that up for right now. I'll put that in there. And this refrigerator or this freezer, I do have to tackle as well. Put back my beef bacon. That sort of reminds me of the movie. I don't remember if it's I Am Legend or something, the movie with Will Smith, when it was like the end of the world, and I think it was zombies or something. And he had that one pack of bacon, and the lady that was at the house that saved him, she came to his house and she made that bacon, and he got so upset about it. He was like, I was saving that bacon. You know, that's like me with this beef bacon here. I don't know why. Well, I'm not really necessarily saving it. I'm gonna cook it. This goes up here with the other green beans and more green beans. This thing's like full of vegetables up here. If I don't buy any more vegetables for another month, I will still be good. And then the Walmart cold chicken. I love buying these. $2.78 for a whole cooked chicken. Now, I know some of you folks down in the comments are going to say how bad Walmart chicken is and how bad it is for you, but for a fully cooked chicken that I can put in my salad or do anything with it for $2.78, that's really not bad. It's actually really, really good. You can't even get a sandwich at a fast food joint for $2.78 these days. What I'll do later is I'll just pull it all apart and I'll put it back in a Ziploc bag and I'll put it in the refrigerator. And a real good thing to do that I learned is if you get this chicken and for $2.78, you can pull it apart, do whatever you need to do with it, and put it in the freezer. Now you have food for later. You have food for tomorrow. You have food for next week at a very, very reasonable price. Okay, and I still have the steak out, so what I want to do now is I'm going to get the steak ready. We're going to sous vide this steak, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. I don't have the sous vide machine, but basically a sous vide, you cook your steak in a water bath at whatever temperature you want it to be. So I'm going to do it a different method without having the sous vide machine that costs anywhere between $50 to $500 or more, you know. So since I don't have it, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to show you guys how I do it without it. And I do wear lime green gloves when I cook. I like to have a colored glove instead of a black glove because if you're cooking food and you're chopping up food and you just so happen to break a glove, you don't want to have a piece of plastic or, I mean, a piece of rubber inside of your food. It just, to me, it only makes sense, you know. Using black gloves is cool for the camera, but for everyday real cooking, I don't really think so. If you want to be safe and you want to cook, I mean, it just really, to me, it's a no-brainer to have a colored, you know, colored food, color gloves. What I will do is I will put one of these, I'm actually going to put in the refrigerator. So that will be for later. And what I'm doing with the other one is I'm going to cook it right now. And I put butter in here to go with it. And then I have this one that I can store for later, and I'll put this in the refrigerator. So I get it to where the heat's barely even on there. Next thing I do, put this down in the water. Yep, there's a little air in there. Making it rise back up to the top. Just a little air, but that's okay. I got a trick for that. That should help that out. What I will do, just to make sure the temperature is right, I like my temperature right around 130, and I put this air, that right there, and We will set that there. And we'll get that up to temperature. If you guys can see, it's not where I want it to be. I need it right here. And I know if you're reading it upside down, it says 150. It's really not. It's probably close to, I'd say 120 right now. And I'm looking to get it to close to 130. And once I get it around that temperature, I'll start my clock and I'll run it for 2 hours. Let's get to putting away these clothes. Taken out. Now that I threw out everything in the refrigerator, and I do have this big mess here, which is basically all the clothes, clean clothes that I did. Oh, that's my laundry bag. This is my travel / gym bag. And this is all the stuff that I've been sent, that whatever this is, the Amazon Echo that I don't know how to use, the new Roku box because I was having issues with the Nintendo Switch, and someone else sent me the Google Home Mini. I'll put the links down in the description for all this stuff that they sent. I don't know. And a Chromecast. I don't know on that either. And then, which was awesome, is the HDMI splitter. So I guess I can watch the same stuff on all the TVs. Pretty cool. And I don't know what that thing is, but yeah. So thanks to you people that sent me all of these devices that I don't know how to use, but yeah, we'll get it figured out some way. So right now I do need to get this stuff out of the bag and I need to put this stuff away. A lot of times I'll travel, I'll pack a bag like that, and I'll just take off and be gone for a couple days. I started building this thing years ago. In 2020, I started building it, and my life then was in a different place than what it is now. I'm sure a lot of people's life was in a different place in 2020 than after. I love this lifestyle that I started, and I love to show folks that it's truly possible to have a dream. And this may not be a dream for everybody. Like, you guys may think, hey, that's stupid. Why would somebody want to do that? Why would you want to live in a vehicle? You know, I mean, it's a vehicle. But I can see everything. I can see this whole country and put some diesel in, little insurance, buy some groceries, fill this thing up, and I'm not paying that mortgage anymore. I mean, we were paying a very, very high mortgage, thousands of dollars a month, and, you know, paying the towing business insurance, that was very, very expensive. If you guys know anybody in the tow business, ask them how much that insurance is. It's just as much as a mortgage, you know, very expensive. I don't make a great deal of money, but I get to make a lot of memories, and I see a lot of things, and I create memories with you guys. So I had to set my timer for the steak cooking. So once the steak is finished, I will go ahead and We're going to sear that on the grill, but probably about when I have about 30 minutes left, I will go ahead, cook the Brussels sprouts and the asparagus. Two different green vegetables, trying to stay a little healthy. So let me go ahead. I'm going to finish getting this cleaned up. I got to take the garbage out. So I'm going to time lapse all this. I'm going to watch a little TV for a minute, and then we will get this steak out and we will sear this thing. I like this Papa John's garlic sauce. I know it sounds crazy in a salad, but it is. I'm not going to say it's not. It has a weird taste to it with the cheese, but it's actually pretty good. I like it. That's enough. Just a little bit left there. And then I got to cut some onions. Put some onions on my salad. Oh, don't want to put too much cheese. That's probably too much cheese, but I'm a person that says there's never too much cheese. Especially like if you're making mac and cheese, it's never too much cheese. I think that should be enough onions. What do you guys think? Enough onions for my salad? We'll just cut those up and throw those right on in the salad. You guys eat onions in your salad? I know some people that eat olives in their salad. I can't do it. Can't do it. Not for me. Now I have this big old salad right here that I'm going to eat. Let's see. I'm hungry. I can't wait for dinner. Well, like always, guys, I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me eat. That's like the rudest thing in the world. And I wouldn't want to sit here. I wouldn't want to watch somebody just sit there and eat. I think it's weird. But I'm going to eat. I'll time lapse this. I'm going to hang out and watch TV. Then we're going to get this steak out of that water bath and we're going to put that thing on the grill. And then we're going to make some dinner. These are I keep my chips stored up there. So I have about 30 minutes left before the steak is finished. And what I will do is I will take out, this is where I store all of my pans, or oven pans, I guess. You guys put your pots or pans in the oven. Okay, now that I washed that, I didn't even start the oven. Guys, why didn't you tell me? I didn't start the oven. There we go. Nothing special here. I'm going to make Brussels sprouts. Let me put that up. I'm going to make Brussels sprouts and asparagus. And what I'm going to do to the asparagus, I'll just put a little bit of olive oil. Probably that's a lot of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to go with some of the Slap Your Mamas, one of my favorites. I'm going to throw that right on in there. Let that cook for 30 minutes. What I'll do right now, let's get outside and then we're going to start this fire. We're going to let that run. We're going to let the fire go outside. So when the steak is done, we could throw it on there, get it off, and then we'll be done with dinner. All right, let's get this fire started. It's getting a little dark, so I do want to get this done sooner rather than later. Probably want to move that so it's not so close to the fire. Now that we got our fire going, we'll let this thing get hot. I want to get this fire right around 500 degrees, maybe a little hotter if I can, because I want to get a perfect sear on this steak. So let's go back inside, hang out, and let everything else cook. And then we'll get out here and let the grill get to doing its thing. So let's get on inside. Now that we got the fire going, we'll hang out in here. I believe we probably have about another 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Enough time for the asparagus and Brussels sprouts to cook, and enough time for the fire to heat up. So let's hang out, watch TV, and wait for the food to finish. Okay, the steak is ready to come out of the water. Here it is. Sorry for the camera moving like that. Let's get this thing out of here. Ooh, it smells good. A lot of people keep that juice from the steak so they can make so this is what the steak looks like, but they keep the juice from the steak so they can make some kind of a pan sauce, you know. I'm not doing that. But I do dry this thing off so I can get off all the moisture so we can get a good sear on this steak. As good as I can. Probably got enough salt on it. All right, let's head on outside and put this thing on the grill. I'm gonna grab the flashlight. Matter of fact, I'll set this flashlight outside and then we'll go out here with the camera. Here's the steak, guys. So let's head on out and here's the grill and it's red hot. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. Mosquitoes are getting me out here already. So let's put that on there and I'll wait 2 minutes and then we'll come back and we'll flip it. Okay, I'm gonna head outside and go get it. Let me hurry up in here. Don't want to get ate up by bugs out there. It's a ton of bugs out there. But anyways, I have the perfect steak. This thing is seared perfectly and it looks amazing. I'm so ready to eat this thing. Let me get this thing plated. I need to let it rest for a few minutes and then I'm going to get everything plated and then I'm going to sit down and we're going to eat. Okay, now dinner time is here and I did make some instant mashed potatoes real quick just in the bowl. Little carbohydrates to go with it. And the Brussels sprouts, I call them roasted Brussels sprouts. I'm going to go ahead and give these things a taste. Sweet and spicy. I love it. Then I'll give this asparagus a taste as well. Amazing steak. I just need a better thermometer. So I'm not overcooking my steak. So I have the wrong kind of thermometer. So it probably got closer to the 135 rather than the 130 that I wanted. It's all right though. It's still a beautifully cooked steak. Man, that thing tastes good. Mashed potatoes are mashed potatoes instant. I'm not going to taste those right now. But I'm going to go ahead, finish eating. I'm not going to keep you guys watching. I'm not going to sit here and have you guys watch me eat. So I'll see you guys after dinner. All right, guys, I'm out of the shower. I got my bed made for tonight, and I'm about to call it a night. So I will see you guys first thing in the morning. Good morning. Slept pretty decent here last night. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bed put back up, turn this back into a couch, make this back my living room, get the window shades up, and then I'm going to get some coffee and we're going to head down to the lake. I want to see if I can get a little fishing done this morning and then show you guys the water. So stick with me and let's get this done. I'm going to time lapse this so we're not sitting around forever. Time to get the coffee. Cafe Bustelo, I believe that is. Good cup of coffee. Let me get the trash taken out and grab my tackle box and one of my fishing poles and fishing license. Then let's head on down to the water. Time to head down to the water. Head on over to the lake here and try to get some fishing done for the morning. Nothing like having a cup of coffee and fishing on the water. I've made it here to the water and time to get a little fishing done. Brought my tackle box with all of the stuff that I probably don't need because I probably won't catch anything like usual, but it's always fun to get out here. I need more weight on this thing. That'll work. After a good long walk to the car, realizing that I only brought one pole, so I'm not gonna do any fishing, but just sitting back and enjoying this water and having my morning coffee. This is awesome. I love it. And if you guys are still here right now, comment down below that you made it to coffee time and let me try my coffee. Yeah, this is a good cup of coffee. And if you're still not yet subscribed, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and it'll help the channel grow and it will push out this video to more viewers so they can see content like this as well. And if you really want to help out the channel, consider becoming a channel member. It'll help us get a cup of coffee every month and possibly a gallon of diesel. So I'm gonna sit out here and I'm gonna watch these boats go by because I don't have a boat anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna hang out and I will see you guys on the next adventure.